everyone, it's Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a book review for Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. This is the 75th anniversary edition and this is just gorgeous. And it is not only beautiful on the outside, it is just as beautiful on the inside. So I read this for the banned book readathon that I co-hosted with Kate from the Literary Apothecary and Kate Coy, and I picked this one because Leslie and Evie just absolutely adore this, and Zora Neale Hurston, and it made me really interested to see if I would like it just as much as they did. And spoiler alert, I am very happy to say that I did. So, just to give you a little bit of background, Zora Neale Hurston was a novelist, folklorist, and anthropologist, and she lived from 1891 to 1960, and she has written a lot. Novels, plays, short stories, essays, you name it. So she's very prolific. If I remember correctly, she was the most successful Black female author in the first half of the 20th century, and her work still is prolific and revered to this day. So this is set in Florida, which I actually was not expecting, and it follows the story of Janie, our protagonist, and she is telling her life story to her friend Phoebe. And Janie has had 3 husbands in her life. So the first husband was someone that she didn't really love, but she married because of her grandmother. Her grandmother really, really wanted her to marry this man, and her grandmother has done so much for her that she married him, and she just wasn't as happy as she could be. And move forward, then she meets Joe Stark, and he is so different from her first husband, and we go through their marriage and her journey with him and kind of discovering who she is and finding out more about herself through her life circumstances and her marriage to Joe. And they move to an all-Black community, and they open this store, which was Joe's dream, not really Janie's dream. So the only role she really has is just on a pedestal for Joe and just supporting him. And move forward again after things happen. And then we meet Tea Cake, and he is so instantly charming and endearing, and as soon as I met him, I just fell in love. And really, this is the point in the novel where I already loved it, but I just absolutely fell in love with Tea Cake and his relationship with Janie. And through this, Janie really comes into herself and just really loves herself. People around them can see that and see their love for each other. And again, more circumstances happen as she's telling her story to Phoebe. And that isn't really a spoiler. It does say there are 3 husbands in the synopsis. So really the point of the book is the journey that Janie takes throughout her life. This is one of the most beautiful books that I have read. It is a love story, not necessarily a romance, but she has 3 husbands and we see her journeys with them. And also it's a love story in the sense that Janie really comes to love herself, which I think is the best part of this book. We really get to see her inner struggles and the struggles of the circumstances around her and how she just perseveres and overcomes and keeps going forward And there are so many points in this novel that I just cried, whether it be sad or because it was so beautiful or it was just touching. And it's a really short book. It's less than 200 pages, but it packs such an emotional punch. And I just absolutely fell in love with this. There are so many beautiful quotes and moments, whether they be emotional or quiet moments. I just absolutely loved this. It was phenomenal. Phenomenal. And it really made me want to read all of her bibliography, because I feel like I would really, really enjoy everything else that she's written. Her writing style is lovely, and it's gorgeous without being purple prose. And I especially love that she writes her characters so authentically and realistically, and they just feel like such real people. And growing up in the South, this book really just reminded me of growing up here. Obviously, I didn't have the same circumstances as these characters, but I feel like, especially if you grow up in the South, there are so many characters in this book that you read about and you think, oh, this makes me think of this person, or oh, this reminds me of this growing up, which I thought was fantastic, because honestly, I'm not a huge fan of where I live. I'm not a huge fan of the South. But I feel like this book, while it does cover some issues that they do have, I really feel like it's also a love story for the good things about the South and communities and the relationships you have with other people, romantic, platonic, what have you. And it's just, I cannot sing its praises enough. It was an automatic 5 stars, and I'm even getting kind of like emotional talking about it, because it was just so beautiful. It was so beautiful. So please go pick this book up, and I think you'll just get so much out of it. So have you read this book? If so, please let me know below. If you'd like to leave an emoji, leave a nature or floral emoji down below. As always, if you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button if you'd like. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.